So this is what I'm setting my governor to this turn, and I've finished my colonies as well. This means that basically I will get this tech done and I can redesign some of my ships next turn. I actually redesigned and constructed this turn because I had a tiny bit more cargo space. I believe I completed the antimatter building on, if I can find the right planet, here. So that's given adjacency there. You can see it's now got adjacency of 10, so it's an extra 50% extra cargo capacity, which is really going to make my ships substantially better, especially since I had minus 30% to start. I've added a new constructor type to all three of my shipyards near to the capital, and I've done quite a bit of movement as well, which I'm basically going to have to cut out the video, some of it now, well, the constructor movement especially, since I'm making a lot of them. I've got one more thing to move this turn, which is a colony ship, and I'll bring it over to here. Find what's over there, and then I'll end the turn. Okay, so I've got some colony ships coming down to the borders. I've got colony ships going to various resources all around maps. I've got freighters coming over here slowly. So that's basically the movement that you haven't seen me do. I think there's a scout to put on auto explore as well, my only scout. But you've seen everything else, I think. Colonies. Yeah, I'm not sure how much tech research I'm going to do. It might just be one tech for the time being. Well, especially specialising on one tech, if you see what I mean. Always going to be researching something at this point. Right, so we've got that extra 20% capacity. That's really going to come in handy. Now this tech is incredibly important, but it takes one heck of a lot of time and research points to actually research. So I'm really hoping I can pick up an anomaly and a free tech to get that. If you watch my Snappy Let's Play, then that's what I did in that. Yeah, so even very late game techs are cheaper than that actually. So I've got to figure out what I'm going for here, at least for time being. I actually really need some more food, so I might stick something here in the list and maybe swap it for something else later on. Just put that on for now. Let's do some movement. So this sensor ship is looking for anomalies and preferably artifacts. So this turn, with that extra cargo capacity, I've now got how much on my hulls? 153 on my cargo hulls. So I'm going to redesign some new colony ships in a bit. I'll probably make another 3 to 6 colony ships to bring down here and down here, see if the Drengen and Snaffy have missed anything, which they may have. This colony ship is probably fog busting now, really, isn't it? Rather than doing anything useful. Don't have the range down here yet. What's this? This is a colony ship with a bit more range. Just brought down here. And guess I'll bring it back up here. Oh, and I've actually found a new minor race. Brilliant, especially since I want to do quite a bit of trades this turn potentially. Let's come up here. Yeah, I definitely need a constructor or two to get over here pretty soon. That's another one. Probably should have brought that to there and that one down there actually. I'm losing track of how many ships I've got over here. I've got tons. Just all out of range. Let's try and bring that down. There, is it? Okay. That colony ship. There's nothing there. I've got my colonies to do. I'm going to do some tech trades now as well. So I've given them a ton of my old tech and open borders as well. Picked up some techs I hadn't picked up yet. Planetary invasion, so I can make transports in not too distant future. And quite a bit of money actually as well, since I definitely need it. My economy isn't looking too great currently, but I've got freighters en route that's going to help out a bit. Something which I'd forgotten about is that this event, which actually gives 100% to trade income, so maybe they'll be more worthwhile than they would be otherwise. Economy wise, let's switch this back to social, get buildings up. Gonna research that tech. Is currently taking 10 turns with the focuses I've got set. That's a money situation. I've done quite a decent amount of my movement, taken some stuff off auto, but not everything. I've redesigned some ships. This turn actually took friggin' ages. So we've got that constructor ship with 4 constructor modules on it. That one's a couple of constructors with a ton of range modules and speed, so that will be picking up resources initially mainly. And there's this colony ship, which I think I've stuck some of those in the list. Let's check. I've got 3 shipyards on the go. Yeah, I've stuck them in the list. Good. Right, so I've got a few bits of movement to do which I haven't gotten around to. I think I'll bust the fog with this colony ship. I just don't have the range over here yet, so I'll bring that up there. That one, I think I'll possibly do likewise, is it? Bring it down here. The new colony ship design I just made has 8 range, so it's going to be able to get down here probably, and at a decent rate as well. This one is yet another fast colony ship that's sadly out of range. Okay, let's have it go up here. There's actually something there, is there? Right, come up here with it. Okay, do I have anything left? This constructor got into range of that. I also made a star base there, picked up a couple of resources and brought another constructor module to it, so I can pick that up later on. That can make star base there, and you pick up the thulium, which I believe was in range just. Okay, freighter. Right, these got really good range actually, very good range in fact. Let's bring... How good are these worlds? Not really sure which ones I want to be trading with, honestly. I could use these as scouts temporarily rather than trade with them. I'm sure that's a good idea though, to be honest. That one... What have I got left? That colony ship I'm actually going to upgrade if it's cheap enough to a constructor. Right, that was the one I wanted to do it to, but it's going to cost 283 credits. Is there anything cheaper? They're very cheap. Oh, that one, 52 credits for 2 constructor modules. You know what? That'll do fine. Okay, so I'll bag that resource there in a minute, probably. Now, I think I should trade with this freighter, so what's that? That is class 10. That's a class 16, I think. That's a really good world, actually, so I'll bring it to there. To be honest, I don't really know how the game calculates the income generated. It's probably based on raw production from certain planets rather than how much wealth they produce, but I'm not sure. So that's maybe something we can find out later. I know that distance is a factor though. Right, so that's it for the turn. Let's end the turn finally. Okay, so various constructors get into place hopefully. There's some resources I would have picked up this turn. That thulium, durantium there. There's another minor race I've found, so 6 now I believe. I doubt there's any more than that. The settings I picked. So colony ships, come back to later on. This survey... Oh, was that at range? Yeah, sadly. Come over there, see if there's any anomalies. That colony, come back to... You know what, I've got so many ships these days that this would take friggin' forever to go all through these, so yeah, I think I'll come back to them later. I'm going to do my colonies now. There was quite a few trades I did this turn as well. So first of all, I picked up Habitat Improvement, which is a terraforming tech from the Iconian Refuge. The Snaffy had that as well, but I decided to do it with the Iconians. And then I did some trades with the miners. So the Lantern are the recent miner race I just met. They actually have a few techs that are pretty unique to... Well, I think they're basically they have the same tech tree as the Iridium Corporation. So they have expanded trade and trade route optimization. So that's an extra trade route, an extra 10% to trade routes. And I got a ton of money off them as well for all of my techs. And I basically was able to trade an exploration treaty with the Baron, who I was able to trade again with this turn. Picked up Interstellar Logistics, and I'm actually building that on one of my military Hyperion planets, which I'll show you in a minute. And I picked up shield systems as well for high capacity hulls, which I've actually not traded with everyone yet. They're the only people I've traded with. It's a specialization tech, and no one has really got that specialization tech, so kind of want races to pick that up so I can trade for it, basically. Yeah, so I got that off them and some more money. So I actually got quite a bit of money this turn off all of those trades, even though I'm losing a ton. In my designer, I've actually created my first combat ship. So this is the Intrepid. This is basically designed just to pick up anomalies, but yeah, its weaponry is okay, I guess. I've kept the maintenance down because of my money issues, so I've not put ion drives on. I've just used the standard hyperdrives, which don't actually cost maintenance, and ion drives do. So I'm starting to make some of those. I've actually put one in the list of this shipyard. The other two shipyards are doing more of the recent colony ship I designed. This shipyard is actually getting Bukovici and also Monrovius to support it. Not really putting any military manufacturing into it, but those two colonies, one of them gets a Durantium mass drive bonus and the other one gets a speed bonus, so I think it's a pretty good idea. And yeah, that's what Hyperion Shrinker one. On this one I've actually started making a Hyperion Logistics building, which is a very important building, which I just picked up with one of those techs just then. So this gives you a -1 to logistics on your ships, and it also increases your logistics overall. It only works though if you actually have this going to a shipyard. I'll always want this going to a planet because of the extra mass driver bonus, so I'll be using this on combat ships. And this one eventually I might switch that over to the hit point Hyperion building rather than the Hyperion Shrinker, because I'm going to want to use this in a similar vein to get the extra movement bonus. And I believe later on when the precursor worlds get bonuses, it's possible that the bonuses from these may increase. I'm not sure about that though. Yeah, it's possible though, I'm guessing that. Now I've got lots of bits of movement to do all over the place this turn, so I'm gonna start on that. Some of my constructors had reached their locations and I took them off auto, so this one here for example is going to pick up a few resources there. And what else I've got? Colony constructed there, so there's a ton of resources there, which is great. So mining ring there, sadly only one constructor module though. But those two Durantiums will allow me to make another one of those combat ships next turn. Really, yeah, I'm going to have to start to look out for good anomalies. This one came down here, so let's do that as well. Mining ring there. And I've got a few freighters. Where else? Let's get the freighters out of the way then, is it? Okay. Something I should show you as well. Snappy now have 17 colonies, so they're getting much more of a potential threat. And in fact, the races, you can see this mentions you are ripe for conquest. So my relations are, well, the Drengen have the same actually, but I have a non-aggression treaty with them. Iconians are fine. Yeah, but I could be at war with Snappy in 5 turns. I'm gonna try and build as many of those combat ships in the next 5 turns, probably, just to get my military rated up a tiny bit, but don't really have enough time, do I, to get that up a decent level. Yeah, these colony ships are just can't do anything with them currently. There. That one, I think I'll trade with this one this turn. What is that? That is a class 11. Yeah, let's trade today with this one. I want to see what the money's like. I can discuss trade then if I actually get trading. So, right, there's a video now. Okay, got stuck for some reason there. Let's go into the govern screen. So you can see we get 14 billion credits from that trade route, which is surprisingly small actually, even with the event, which is supposed to give me 100%. I'm only getting 14. So the bonuses we get there with initiators, we get 15%. The route length is important, so yeah, that's why I wanted one pretty far away. The route's age is important, and also the trade planet incomes. Now that's the stat on here which I don't know how it works. I'm guessing it may be raw production, but yeah, documentation and Stardock, well, don't go well together. They just don't make any documentation, frankly. Even on the forums. Actually, I probably should ask about that on the forums. Might get an answer from Stardock. I doubt if anyone actually knows about how that works, though, frankly. This freighter, let's get that over here. So that's helped a tiny bit. I've got 4 routes now available to me, and I've got 4 freighters actually. Well, 3 left now after having used 1. Right, I'm going to finish moving these colony ships. It's going to take me a while, and then we'll end the turn. My newer colony ships with a massive range, I've brought one down there, and one up there-ish, roughly. I've got a couple more being built this turn. So... oh, there's Altarian colony ships going there, interesting. Looks like I've got a race on my hands, potentially. That's slowly getting upgraded, and we've actually made a capital ship. And we've got some Promethean as well. Right, so that's a colony ship, that's a colony ship, which I'll have to come back to. Well, actually, let's take them out now. So there's one there. 500 million on you. What's that? That is also a colony ship. And that is our first military ship. So I'm not sure how good its sensors are actually, probably not very good because I didn't put a sensor module on them. But it did have the prototype survey module. So with this I'm going to be looking for anomalies. There's a space junk there, capsule there. There's not many left, is there? All the AIs have nicked them all by the looks of things. There are some precursor anomalies, but they're definitely not strong enough to pick those up. Yeah, my resources are getting half decent, so I'm gonna keep on making some of those. This turn I actually created a transport ship. I actually picked up planetary invasion tech the other turn. So it's got a couple of transport modules, so it can carry 6 billion in population. Might actually start to take some population off my planets because they're reaching the pop caps, most of them. I've got a few range modules. Arguably I could have put on a couple more instead of one of these hyperdrive engines. All of the rest of the cargo capacity is basically taken up by engines though. So it's incredibly fast. And yeah, I should basically get the job done if I do actually need to invade anyone, which I'm not 100% sure I'm going to do, but I probably will end up doing so. So there's reasons why it wouldn't be a great victory condition to go for in this game, because for the maintenance cost it's going to be very hard to support a military, I guess, and also my population's going to be crap as well because of the minus the growth and minus the food. But yeah, I'll probably end up invading someone. So I've got some not so key movement left and the odd bit of key movement left. I'm actually going to take you around my planets first though, since I haven't done it for a while. One thing I should show you though, I think I mentioned this in annotations before, you can see the stats there. If I highlight the kinetic attack, you can see some bonuses we're getting. So one of those, I believe the one for the missing info, is basically off that Mass Driver world, which gives bonuses. The 5% is probably off a event, and the Study the Precursor Treasury is a bugged event that was supposed to give plus 10 to all weapons. In fact, it's actually 0.1 to all weapons, so in reality it's crap. And you can also see the kinetic range is 0.1 at the end. I also had an event for an extra 10% range, and instead of 10% it's just given a 0.1. So yeah, both of those events seem to be bugged actually. So there's a couple of anomalies down here which the only ones I can see, so I'm going to grab those now with this. So space junk there, 27 creds. I'm making another one this turn there. I switched around my shipyards again just to make sure I have enough crude manufacture in each of them. Getting transport up in that one and a transport up in that one. Let's take you around my worlds then. So the capital is getting another farm up here. Most of the infrastructure's done. That's still getting production up before starting on getting some trade up. It's getting research up. Tech capital goes up next turn, so should get quite a few more bits of research. Some of my worlds I'm reluctant to build certain things because I want to get the last of the terraforming techs before I finalize what I'm building. For example, on that world I wouldn't be building those normally. I'd be building other things possibly rather than upgrading that, but I'm not sure where I want to put certain things. So these worlds, I've got a lot of production worlds actually. Maybe too many possibly, but I need more production than normal. This is getting wealth up. Eventually I'm probably going to have to make a Bureau of Labor here so I can focus 100% on wealth. Otherwise I'm never going to have much wealth. It's a case of this costs 10 in maintenance though, so with the XML tweaks I've made, so I've got to time it right if I'm going to make it at all. That's getting that up, so it's in a few turns. And past this point it's mainly production, not much else I think. The odd bit of research. Yeah, I definitely need to get more research up. Right, let's do some key movement then. So I've got that down here, let's build that. This constructor is coming over here. So we've now found Altaria, which was obvious that was there. The survey, what's that? That is, I don't know. There's a couple of anomalies around here though, isn't there? So I need to keep this around here arguably. Did I think I might have meant to keep this colony ship here to upgrade 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I think I might upgrade that this turn to a constructor and pick up those 2 Durantium resources. I think that's the only... Well, actually making that there, so I'm probably going to lose out on these, but let's upgrade. Right, if I can find the right one. Okay, that's the one I want to upgrade to. Yeah, Startup needs to do something with these lists. It's impossible to find anything. That colony ship, come back to later. Let's build that one. Come back to that, come back to that. Right, this can actually find something, so I'll show this. Nothing here though. What's this? Freighter? I'm gonna use... oh, that's a minor race. Probably gonna use the freighters for the time being to scout. And that one. Okay. There's that movement. Right, got a really couple of good colony ships there. I think all the rest is crappy colony ships. Right, gonna finish up the movement and then I'll end the turn. Right, so we've got coming over here. Constructors get into place. There's one constructor which should get there next turn. I can make a starbase and extend my range. That's one of the 3 constructors I got ages ago. I've got these really long range colony ships coming down. I think they move at 24 per turn, so yeah, they're going to get over here eventually. Okay, so we've got our first transport ships, a couple of those. Going to start to pick up some population. Minor race has contacted us. The Marauders come to you with an opportunity. The Gossamer are dangerous and we would appreciate aid in being rid of them. Declare war on them and we will give you the knowledge of beam weapons to aid you in your fight. No way. I'm sorry, but the Terran Resurgence just cannot take on this burden right now. Okay. Yeah, there's no point in going after killing off minor races. So let's get some key movement done and I'll do my colonies and then no doubt finish up the rest of my movement because there's so much to do at the moment. Might be able to do some trades this turn as well. Right, so I think that's where I need... You can't make a starbase in a nebulous, that's about the best I'll for those 3 resources there. Let's make a starbase and a miner in. Okay. So that now means my range has been extended over here substantially. Probably isn't many colonies over here to colonize. They're probably all down there, I guess, but you never know. How many colonies has Snaffy got currently? Ooh, the Iconians have declared war on the Marauders. News. I'm not sure it actually updates this straight away anyway, but yeah, that's not good. So where are the Marauders anyway? I have no idea. I do not want the majors taking out minor races. Right, yeah, I have no idea where the Marauders are. Actually, I'm gonna have to look. Oh, there they are. Right, so they're reasonably far away. Right, let's do my colonies.